I'm Taja Brown, and you're watching Morgan News Now. The music industry has been rocked to its core. Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle has been shot and killed. Police say the 33-year-old was shot several times in the head and torso. The shooting happened on March 31st, as Nipsey stood outside his clothing store in Los Angeles. 2 others were injured in the shooting. The rapper's death sparked an outpour of tributes and mourning from celebrities and fans alike. Police have arrested Eric Holder in connection to the shooting. Holder is being held in solitary confinement on over a $7 million bond. Another story that has our campus buzzing is the recent Student Government Association elections. If you haven't heard, the winners are as follows. Erica Knox has been crowned Miss Morgan, Molly Julian is the new Mr. Morgan, Reality Henderson is Miss Junior, currently there is no Mr. Junior, the new Miss Sophomore is Taylor Odom, and the new Mr. Sophomore is LaShawn Taylor. Keon Grayson was elected SGA president, and Brandon Holmes is the new vice president. Jamira Forbes, sophomore class president, Jada Prater, class senator. Speaking of elections, the position of mayor of Baltimore City could soon be up for grabs. Mayor Catherine Pugh continues to be surrounded by a cloud due to her Healthy Holly book deal. The book scandal has rocked the city. Madam Mayor Pugh has taken an indefinite leave of absence. City Council President Bernard Jack Young is currently serving as acting mayor. At one point, Mayor Catherine Pugh was considered a shoo-in for re-election in Baltimore City. Now, potential competitors are surfacing. Ex-Maryland Deputy Attorney General says he's running for Baltimore's highest office. Thiru Vignarajah is the first Democrat to officially announce his 2020 mayoral campaign. He made an unsuccessful bid last year to become the city's top prosecutor. Rumor has it former Mayor Sheila Dixon plans to run, but there hasn't been an official word from her camp yet. We have more news out of Baltimore City. The city school board has passed a policy protecting transgender students. The unanimous vote was cast Tuesday, April 9th. This means that transgender students can use the names, pronouns, bathrooms, and locker rooms that align with their gender identity. An estimated 2% of high school students identify as transgender, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. As we approach the end of the spring semester, the university took time out to recognize several outstanding students on campus. Dozens of Morgan State students were acknowledged during the 2019 Honors Convocation on Thursday, April 4th. Several students were called to the stage to receive certificates for having a 4.0 grade point average for 7 consecutive semesters. The keynote speaker was Dr. John Wilson, president of Morehouse University. Next week, we will have a special look at his inspiring message to our MSU campus. Speaking of inspiring people and messages on campus, Morgan State University does not fall short of outstanding faculty members. That is why Professor Prince launched a segment in her MPPD 350 class called Who's Who.
I'm Baruti Kupano, chair of the Department of Multi-Platform Production in the School of Global Journalism and Communication at Morgan State University. I'm actually from Baltimore, graduated from Morgan State University many years ago. Attended Syracuse University for my master's and the Indiana University of Pennsylvania for my PhD. We primarily are, as a Department of Multi-Platform Production, we are encouraging students to develop the ability to research it, to be able to write it, to be able to produce it, and to be able to distribute it. As the chair of the department, I work with my colleagues, faculty members, to oversee the curriculum. Obviously, I'm working with students in a number of capacity. I teach 1 or 2 courses every semester. I also am now overseeing Bear TV, the performance center for the Department of Multi-Platform Production. Bear TV is going to be an incredible opportunity for students in the School of Global Journalism and Communication to have hands-on opportunities to learn a number of skills in the television, video, journalism fields. There are 5 signature shows that will really be the basis for Bear TV. The news show is Morgan News Now. Then we have BTW, which is By the Way, or Beyond the Wire, an opportunity for us to look at Baltimore beyond the stereotypical stories we often see coming out of Baltimore. There's Diaspora in 30, which is an opportunity for us to look at issues pertaining to the African diaspora on the continent and throughout the various parts of the world. There's also MTZ, which is more of our gossipy type of show. And then the Morgan Minute is a minute Instagram-based show that overviews news stories. All Things Bear TV, and that is room 358. I hope that's right. And our building, and we are really proud of the way we've outfitted that space, and we'll have an official launch, if you will, of that space very soon. Students who are coming into the department is to become involved immediately. There are no prerequisites for involvement in Bear TV. There is no minimum GPA for involvement in Bear TV. For those folks who are going out, if you've not taken advantage of some of the opportunities that I've mentioned, it's not too late. Literally, this is your experience, and we are here to make sure that you can maximize your potential.
Morgan News Now will return right after these messages.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
My heart doesn't see race.
Love has no age limit.
That's my best friend.
We are neighbors and best friends.
We all have different religions, but we have universal love as well.
I love my sister.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Welcome back to Morgan News Now. I'm Taja Brown. If you haven't heard, let me be the first to tell you guys. It's officially I Love Morgan Week, and there are plenty of events to attend. From a Student Appreciation Day to a game show, a silent disco party, stroll competition, yard fest, and the concert everyone is looking forward to. The Big Bash with Cash Doll, Lil Durk, and Megan Thee Stallion. Once the word got out of who was performing this week, the students went crazy. The love for our beloved campus continues with the Greek life. The men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated hosted their annual Stroll Like an Alpha competition. The March 29th event was held by our Beta Alpha chapter in the University Student Center. The women who participated in the competition were drafted into 5 teams to learn strolls and compete for the competition title. The Brazy Eights team walked away with the title at the end of the night. Congratulations to everyone who performed and the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated for an exciting show. Believe it or not, Easter is less than a week away. That day may not mean much to you spiritually, but I bet you are low-key making some type of plans. The month of April also marks the beginning of spring, but there are several other events we need to recognize. Did you know that this is African American Women's Fitness Month? April also marks Alcohol Awareness Month, American Cancer Society Month, Black Women's History Month, and National Autism Awareness Month. World Autism Awareness Day is internationally recognized on April 2nd. The day was designated by the United Nations General Assembly resolution. Autism Awareness Day is intended to raise awareness about people with autism spectrum disorder throughout the world.
According to Autism Speaks, autism refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. Students in college with autism have gifts and challenges. The challenges students encounter are anxiety, depression, difficulty dealing with change from a normal daily routine.
Okay, we provide a wide range of accommodations based off of the student's specified disability and what they actually qualify for. So our main goal here is to provide access to students. So that access would be whether it's in the classroom, on the campus, and just having that student be able to acclimate to the university as any other student would. So as far as the classroom goes, we do have modifications that would put that student on the same playing field as the other student. Like perhaps if a student has like processing issues going on, then we can give the student like extra time for tests, and that would actually give that student the same accommodation. It would give that student the same resource, the same, put them on the same playing field as all the other students. So it's not like giving them an extra upper hand, it's just making them equal.
Invitation Services has a partnership with 2- and 4-year schools to provide educational services to students with autism spectrum disorders.
There aren't really too much that we do. A lot of our students work with DOORS. It's like the rehabilitation center that's in the community. So DOORS supports the student while they're in college, and they also provide that assistance once they have graduated and in getting them a job.
According to Autism Speaks, students with autism can seek additional resources on their campus.
Extra time for testing, as I mentioned earlier, in an alternate location. So that alternate location would look like our testing center, and we only work with students who are registered with our office for those accommodations. So the student would be in a distraction-reduced environment, taking their test for that extra time, and it gives them that pressure off of them. You know, when you're anxious because you're seeing other students getting up and leaving, and you're like, I'm only on the 3rd problem.
The National Museum of African American History and Culture opened its doors more than 2 years ago. Tickets to the museum have been some of the hottest and hardest to score. Now cue Professor E.R. Shipp from the School of Global Journalism and Communications. She is actually giving away tickets to students on a first-come, first-served basis. All you have to do is email her at ershipp, that's with 2 P's, at morgan.edu. Any request, be sure to give your preferred dates and the number of tickets you'd like to have. Someone who may eventually make it inside the National Museum of African American History and Culture is NBA star Dwayne Wade. The inevitable Hall of Famer has played his final game. That's 1,231 games to be exact, and that includes regular and playoff games over a 16-year career. Wade's final game was played on his home court of Miami. Wade walked away with a triple-double, making it the 5th triple-double of his career. Former President Barack Obama even recorded a message congratulating a fellow Chicagoan. If there's a story or event you're hosting and would like Morgan News Now to cover, please send us an email at beartv@morgan.edu. Remember, this is your newscast, so your story should be told. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Morgan News Now. I'm Tasia Brown, and we hope to see you again next week.